Today we're going to be changing the brake master cylinder on a 2003 Duramax. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel. A few weeks ago we was pulling our camper and there was an accident right in front of us. We jammed on the brakes and ended up blowing a brake line. We went through, we replaced all the brake lines with stainless steel lines, but now we can't get a firm pedal. So did some research, talked to one of the local garages here, and they're saying that they believe it is the master cylinder went bad. They have seen it when you blow a line, you overstroke the piston and it actually will damage the master cylinder. So today we went through and we have bought the Brake Best new master cylinder. The tools that we are going to need will be a 9/16 line wrench and a 15mm socket to take the nuts off. First thing we're going to do, we're going to get the fluid out of here so we can get this thing removed. Basically we're going to take a turkey baster. Let's go in here and we'll suck out as much as we can. The next step we're going to do, after we got all the fluid removed, we're going to reach in here, we're going to remove this electrical connector. All it is pulling that clip right there, and that pulls right out. Set that down. We'll go ahead and we'll break our two connectors, or two fittings, loose right now. It's their 9/16. Go ahead and break these bolts here loose. This holds the master cylinder to the hydraulic boost. Yeah, guess I gotta get a bigger bar. Okay, so you need a 15 deep well on the front side and a 13mm to hold it on the back. Go ahead and remove this back line so I get enough clearance to get my deep well out. One good thing you might want to do, these are already marked. Mark which ones go front and which one goes in the rear. That way you don't get them mixed up when you go back together. We'll take out our front line. should just slide right off. There it is. There's the old one. We'll go through. We got to bench bleed the new one. So what we'll do is we'll put fluid in here. We'll put 2 caps on here. And we'll push the piston here. So we see no more air bubbles in here. And we can't push this more than 1/8 of an inch. So let's get the new one on the bench and let's get going. Alright, so we got the new one installed in our vise. We're just clamping it on here. Gives us our 3rd hand. But I wanted to check this and make sure. So what I did, I took a socket 7/8 of an inch and I pressed on the piston here. And there was still a little fluid left in here. I couldn't get it all sucked out. But what happened, I had a very good stream coming out of here and it just like trickled out of here. So I'm really believing it is the master cylinder that is bad. So we'll go through and get this one all bench bled. First things we need to do, remove the plugs. And we're just shipping plugs. We're going to go ahead and put brake fluid in here. What we're going to do is we're going to wait to see it a little bit trickling out here. And after we see that, we're going to screw these back in and we'll start pumping it up. There goes one. There's the front one. Still waiting on the rear. There's the rear one. And the reason you do that, you wait till it runs out, and that actually took about a minute for that to actually happen. The reason you do that is to make sure that you have enough fluid so you don't damage the piston inside here. Go ahead and we'll tighten these. And the instructions say push the piston in 3/4 of an inch to an inch. And you go in slowly. Now I'm hearing bubbles run. I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not. I said once you no longer hear bubbles, then you only can push in about 1/8 of an inch. You're ready to go back on. I'll go ahead and fill this all the way up to the max line because I'm probably going to lose some when I put the lines on. Let's put the new one on. There we go. We got our master cylinder full of oil. We're going to go through. We're going to reinstall this on the studs for the hydroboost. We'll shove these lines here out of the way. Should just slide right back into that bore. We'll go through and we'll just put our nuts back on, tighten them up. I got lucky on that one, didn't put a wrench on the back. After this, now one at a time, we're going to remove these plugs and put our brake lines back in there. make sure you're started straight before you start tightening this up, because that's a steel fitting going into aluminum housing, and you can strip them out fairly easy. So if you can't easily turn it, pull it off and try to start it again. Okay, let's do the rear one. Okay, the last thing you have to do, plug the sensor back in, get that clipped in. There you have it. We've just replaced the master cylinder on a 2003 Chevy Duramax, or a hydroboost brake system. The only thing left now to do is start it up and bleed out the brake system, and it'll be ready to go down the road. Thanks for watching. Bye.